Let's talk about some action items that, guys could actually take, either when they're starting out or whatever they're trying to do with their life, become more successful. A lot of them have self-doubt
Yeah.
and don't know where to start. What are something they can do, even if they don't come to your coaching program? What are some actions that they can do to help themselves out to get to a better place?
I think the easiest way is gratitude. So I made a video about it recently, and it's one of the hardest things to beat into people, but it really is one of the greatest gifts when you can have gratitude for your situation. So I highly recommend any books that help you. There's a couple of concepts. One is you consistently think about what other people care about, what other people think about you, and then the other one is gratitude, and the third one is present moment awareness. So for the gratitude part, for me, it's just like when I think about the fact that, before the year 1850, half the Earth's population died before the age of 5. Before broad spectrum antibiotics, like simple bacteria had like 50, 60% mortality rate. When you think about the fact that the fact you have high speed internet, the incredible advantages that you have as far as the ability to make money and not even leave your house today. If you really consider, half the Earth's population lives on $5 a day right now. And you just how incredibly lucky you have. That's the first place. That's where it kind of like the foundation for everything that I have. When I think about, man, I'm depressed now because I just think about like all the incredible experiences I've had in my life, and like some girl doesn't call me back and I'm like, oh, I'm so sad. And then I'm like, bro, half the Earth's population lives on $5 a day.
I probably don't do that enough.
Yeah.
You get so wrapped up in everything every day. You don't ever take a step back.
Of course.
And be like, you know what? Everything's good. I do it every once in a while,
Yeah.
but I probably don't do it enough.
It's just like, I'm sitting there like, oh, well, how do I solve this problem? Like I can literally call Ty Lopez or Wes Watson, or I can call Dan Fleischman. I can call a bunch of people and just ask them questions. I can call Justin Waller. I can call all of them. I can call Dan Bilzerian or Andrew Tate right now. And I just keep forgetting about this idea that how incredible my life has been and having gratitude for it. Or the fact if I really wanted to learn something, I could go through like a YouTube series, or I could, use artificial intelligence, or I could pay someone for coaching and get the information that I want, just limitless information. When you think about just how without information, people were just a couple hundred years ago, weren't even sure like the shape of the earth, that kind of thing, or the shape of the continents. When you think about how much information we have now at our fingertips, that's one of the other things that I'm incredibly grateful for. Also, the probability of you being alive is like 1 in 4 trillion or something like that. Some outrageous number. So it's like when you take that into account, so we start off with gratitude. The second one, this is the hardest one for people to grasp. Unless you've had some kind of tragedy, I recommend people read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson and The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And the reason why I want you to read that is just to come to this realization: the world isn't all about you, but that should be liberating. This idea that the only thing you have is this moment. There's nothing else that matters but this moment. You just have right now. And when you have right now, you come to the realization that there aren't any real problems, and that you actually become a more focused human, who you become more efficient, and you become more attractive when you can be a moment, you can be presently aware. You see a lot of young people, they're just on their phone all the time. They're just they're not kind of with you. They have conversations with their parents and they're like annoyed, and they get back to their phone and they're doom scrolling, etc. They're taken out of the present moment and they're taken to somewhere else in some other place.
I pulled my kid off the iPad. So
Yeah.
This is my first kid.
Yeah.
We have no idea what we're doing. And I think it had become easy since he was real little. It's like, oh, you give him an iPad, they just sit there and watch it. But as he started developing his personality, I'm like, this is no good.
Yeah.
Like he was really not that he was doing weird stuff, because, he has good values. He sees us every day, but there was no good that was coming out of it.
Sure.
I mean, like literally zoned out.
Yeah.
And like just scrolling through like
We're not
crazy
evolutionarily
stuff.
adapted for it. Yeah.
No. And so the best thing I ever did, which my daughter is going to get a lot of more benefit than I had with him, because I'm learning as I go, because I've never had kids. And the best thing she's going to have is like, that's not going to even be part of her.
I make I have a nephew, I play video games with him, and I make him explain to me what he's doing. So we'll play Grand Theft Auto or Madden, and I'm like, okay, what'd you see on that read? What was the coverage? As long as they're talking to me, then they're not zoned out. It's still present.
I don't think there's I think I played video games too when I was growing up, but I was equally also, outside hanging out with my friends, doing the normal stuff. So, teaching my son a lot of the values that I learned from my dad, which is, doing what you say you're going to do. Yeah. Loyalty and honor and hard work. those I'm teaching him every single day of my life. And, unfortunately, my dad had all those good qualities, taught me amazing things, but not wealth, not money, zero.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't understand it. He didn't ever make much in his life. And it wasn't even that. He just didn't understand how to create wealth. And so hopefully I can also teach those same things to my son, and, not have him come out and be lost and with no skills and have no direction. Because I think that's the biggest thing that happens to most 18-year-olds is they go to high school or, through their whole course of their school career, and they come out, but they haven't done anything in real life. And so they don't even, then you're like, hey, go to college, go pick something you want to do for the rest of your life. And they have no skills. They have nothing to even compare it to. So they don't even know what they want to do with their life.
Well, they also don't, when they grow up and they're in their 30s, they haven't survived anything. Mm-hmm. Like their life is easy. And I'm not blaming them. Like the world is better because of antibiotics and because of high speed internet. I'm not saying the world is better because of air conditioning. But
I'm more worried about that than anything. Yeah. I must say, like the main thing I worry about in my life now is like, I do not want my son to grow up with his hand out and be a piece of shit.
Yes. And that's what's happening.
I know. And I'm trying everything in my power and going to try to do whatever I can. But I do think that's definitely a big problem, with today's society.
Sure,
I want to try to avoid it.
We're not adapted for this. Our ancestors were adapted to kill and then eat. They eat what they kill. Our ancestors were adapted to like what they eat, what they forage. Our ancestors were adapted to like consistently be on the lookout for predation and other people coming to take their women and kill them. Our ancestors were adapted to accomplish goals every day. We don't have to do that anymore. You can really like just drive Uber Eats and just become fat and don't have to worry about anything. Like really, the world isn't going to be that hard for you. Like you are going to be able to get antibiotics. Like you can have a minimum wage salary and get enough sustenance to live. Like it's not as hard. The world has become so easy that we're not adapted for it. What it seems like, again, going back to the behaviorist versus the evolutionary psychologist, the behaviorist is like, well, life is easier, therefore we've alleviated suffering. The behavioral psychologist is like, well, no, you've taken away his purpose, his ability to go out and forage and hunt and kill and to go out and produce for his tribe. Therefore, his dopamine is going to be decreased and he's going to end up becoming fat and depressed.
The purpose thing is a big deal.
Yes. And the behaviorist is going to be like, well, we'll just give him prescription for some beta blocker. And the evolutionary psychologist is going to be like, well, no, that's not what evolution didn't have beta blockers. In fact, what he needs to do to fix this is behavioral activation therapy. He needs instead to go out and produce and actually accomplish tasks. Therefore, his dopamine will reset if he does that.
That goes back to, you saying that, you can be Uber driver. Not that that's a bad thing.
No, being an Uber driver is fine. Just listen to audiobooks and then go to the gym.
Exactly. So, but you can be an Uber driver, barely make it through life, be overweight, obese, have a bunch of issues, and that'll be a very, very unfulfilled life. I don't think that I talked about this with Jay Campbell a little bit on the Peptide podcast. I'm like, Jay, if they knew how good they could feel, why wouldn't they lose weight? Like in my mind, I'm like, they just don't know how. And Jay goes, you said it exactly. He said that they never felt that way because they've been like that for so long, since they were 18 years old or whatever. And so they don't even know what it feels like. And I'm like, man, if they could just get a glimpse of that for one day, they would all lose weight.
So let's just say I have anxiety. So I smoke marijuana on a regular basis. I mean, occasionally it's fine, but like, let's just say I smoke it every day.
Sure.
I smoke it every day. It's going to raise my estrogen levels and increase my levels of paranoia, which both things are going to make me more susceptible to conspiracy theories, which make me a victim, and then also lower my testosterone levels, which is going to make me less productive.
Like
and
so downward spiral.
And it's just a downward spiral. It's exactly what happens. And then it just becomes I would have again, if I eat Whataburger every once in a while, because I'm from Texas and I live in Vegas and we have one Whataburger and it's incredible. And once a week I'll have Whataburger. If I ate Whataburger every day, I would literally have anxiety. I'd start looking at myself in the mirror like, dude, I'm getting fat. This is just too much Whataburger. I'm eating this all the time.
And you couldn't think as clear. You couldn't operate as good. You wouldn't have as much energy. So,
a great way to get rid of my anxiety is to smoke marijuana, which is also going to increase my appetite, which is then cause me to eat more Whataburger. And then I just don't really care. And then what makes it even worse is I'll meet some chick who's like kind of fine hooking up with me while I'm smoking weed, and then it's just this downward spiral that I've just seen so many people have.
The compounding effect.
Or just take alcohol. Alcohol is the same thing. Alcohol inhibits protein synthesis. So now it's going to lower your testosterone levels and cause your body to not be able to recover or build muscle as easily. And so you have those two things, and then it just creates a downward spiral where you see the guy at the end of the bar with the man boobs. Like that guy, his gonads have completely stopped working. All of his testosterone production has been aromatized into estrogen, and that's all that's left of him is man boobs.